1:35 a.m. Thursday, October 7th, 2011. Okay, where should I start today? How about with the dreams I've been having recently? 2 dreams in particular, both being the most recent, were very similar in the sense of overall impressions they left on me when I awoke the next day. I can't remember either very well enough to recall the vivid details, but I do remember feeling abandoned and sad while I was having them, and afterwards while awake as well. Perhaps my dreams over time will lose their credibility as seasons come and go without ever coming true. I pray to God, well, we all know that God just represents whatever is greater than us, just so you guys know. That none of them do ever manifest their way into my reality, fragile reality. I dream frequently of dying alone in the near future. I never literally die all alone. There are always at least several dozen people all around me who are all as panicked, hysterical, and crying out like I am. But nevertheless, in every one of these doomsday dreams, none of these people will acknowledge my existence, let alone come huddle alongside me so that we can find some comfort in the face of death together. I would have put together after that. Page 2. One of the luckiest gifts we may ever have the privilege of receiving will also be the very last gift as well, for that gift would actually be the blessing of having someone you love by your side as you die, so that you don't have to be so afraid of what lies waiting for you beyond this world after this lifetime has expired. I have a question. If there were 100 people all swimming at a community pool, and at the opposite end of the pool from where these 100 people were, there was a dozen or so people drowning and in need of rescue. I would have said immediate rescue. It'd be safe to assume that these 100 people, or at least a large majority of them, the ones originally in the pool, and not in need of rescue, would immediately swim down to the other end to save the others, right? Okay, now let's say there are 2 buildings with swimming pools adjacent to each other. However, the wall they shared was made of glass so that the people in either building could see the people in the other building. Would it still be fair to assume that if those dozen drowning people were in one building and the other 100 non-drowning people were in the other adjacent building, however, still clearly within a near range of sight, whoa, I spelled that majorly wrong, of the dire situation that they still have, would it still be fair to assume that they still have the same instinctual reaction to come to their rescue? Now, imagine the glass wall was replaced by an ordinary wall, making it to where the people drowning in one pool could no longer be seen by the people who potentially could rescue them in the other. Would these people still run to their rescue, the others, if all they could hear were their screams? In my heart, I do have faith that yes, out of 100 people, there'd be at least 5 to 10 individuals who would still instinctively respond with the same sense of urgency as they would have when they could have directly see and witness what was happening, as they could in the previous scenario. And then, most likely considering and in knowing human nature, those 5 to 10 people would incite 10 to 20 more people to respond accordingly. I was going to, if I had concluded that theory, my theory, I was trying to highlight that I don't really know what my objective was in highlighting it, but I was just trying to point out that to see something. I kind of think that most people respond to urgency like an emergency situation, like out of social self-preservation. I don't know. Don't listen to me. All I know is how to make art and to make a mess while making art. Those are the only things I know, so don't listen.